Once cut, I lay down the template for the heart onto my cookie and then apply my stencil over the top. I'm using 3 different colours of royal icing. Using my offset spatula, I apply the 3 colours in any order, and firmly holding my stencil down, I spread it across the surface, cleaning off every time and then reapplying so that I have clean colours instead of them mixing. I then lift off my stencil, and as you can see, I have the heart design. I then add a pearl border around the heart. With a deep pink, I add some more details around the pearl border. With a thin consistency light pink royal icing, I create little droplets around the perimeter. This will be the base for the roses. I allowed them to dry, and then with a deep pink, I added swirls over this to create the rose design. I added some yellow pipe dots, and then with a green royal icing, I added leaves. To enlarge the heart a little, I wanted to create some more roses, so I added more at the top and around the sides. I then created a pearl border around the cookie. The final touch was to add some edible gold paint over the pipe designs. And this is the final result. I really enjoy piping hand. This is fairly thin for piping, so you can afford to go thicker, and this will only help you give you a stronger snowflake. I filled in the main body first and then added the accents. Once the snowflake was complete, I added another layer of piping over the main lines of the design. This would help give a stronger result once dry. To accent, I sprinkled some sugar over the entire surface of the design just to create some shimmer. I then moved on to another design working in the same method. When looking for snowflake templates, it's good to look for designs that are filled with lots of joins and connections. This is a lace design after all, and it will be quite fragile. The extra joins will make a stronger snowflake that can easily be handled with less breakage. I made a few more snowflakes, and once set, I added some shimmer powder to the plain ones without the sugar sprinkles. This just changes up the look and gives you a nice finish. You can easily use gold shimmer and white also for this. Once they're all set, it was time to peel them away from the plastic. A handy tip is I don't pull the chocolate away as they can break. I peel and bend the plastic from underneath, which works far better. You're left with a smooth finish on the underside and a shimmery snowflake on top. These are quite fragile, but they give a really wonderful finish. Most of the time they can break during this process, so handle with care. And if you're unsure about such fine detailed piping, you can always go for a slightly chunkier snowflake, which will be more sturdier. And the design options are endless. You can create any kind of design that you want. I found using Wilton Candy Melts create a nice sturdy butterfly which sets very quickly. Adding a gold accent helps create a very beautiful finish, and the options are endless. Chocolate to the back of my butterfly and stick it to one side of the wax paper, and apply it again to the other side of the butterfly and apply that to the wax paper also. I then pipe the center body of the butterfly. This angle just shows you how it's resting on the cardstock. Once it was ready, it was time to pipe. I started by outlining the butterfly and adding a few layers of the outlines to create a thick and sturdy edge. Once I'd done the perimeter, I then worked on the inside and just created some details. As you can see, I'm not following the design, but I'm just using it as a guide. I set that one aside and start a new one which has got filigree designs and it's simple swirls. Throughout the process of this one though, I'm creating lots of joins and overlap with the chocolate, just making sure that the edges and everything is secure. More joins will create a stronger butterfly. The last one is going to be open as well, and I'm just filling in the edges with a slightly different kind of detailing. Again, I'm reinforcing with joins to make sure this is strong as well. Back to the very first butterfly, I melt pink candy melts and start filling in the cavities for this butterfly. And this one will be a solid butterfly, so this one will be a bit more sturdier. And I'm gently going over the entire surface, filling in all the spaces. I allow them to dry for about an hour and then it's time to peel them off. And I'm gently peeling away the wax paper. They come off very easily, and as you can see, I then cut out wax paper to fit over the heart-shaped cutouts. To create the shape for the petals, I used a small tapered mug. I taped the wax paper and the heart template over this. I did this with all 5 templates. I then melted my chocolate and poured it into my piping bag. I trimmed my piping bag to about a 3mm opening and tested it out. Time to pipe. I started by outlining and carefully tracing over the swirls and details. To reinforce the petal, I added more chocolate around the rim of the petal and the centre. Once all the petals were done and set, which was around 15 minutes, I carefully took them off the mugs and peeled away the wax paper. I dusted all the petals with copper luster dust. To create some variation, I also added gold luster where the centre of the flower would be. I dusted the flower centre also. At this point you can use the flower as is and assemble it directly over the surface of your cake. This is a good and easy option.